Ubuntu 26.04 is out, see what is new in this version. But what about CPU performance, memory speed, and disk drive efficiency? Would you like to know if the new version is more efficient than the last one? Or if Ubuntu improved over high-performance OS? In this video, we answer these questions based on benchmarks. We download the image and boot it on an HP Pavilion laptop. When entering the installer runs, we enter the language, select the keyboard layout. If not found, we can click on Detect. Define the internet connection, select what to install, use the interactive option, and select the default install settings. Activate the proprietary drivers box. Choose to erase the disk, select the right drive. Do not choose encryption and continue. Create an account entering the name, user, password, and confirmation. Deactivate the box that requires entering the password. Select the time zone. If connected to the internet, it will show the correct zone. Then review options and click on Install. This Ubuntu version is called LTS, providing long-term support with updates for 5 years, and with Pro it would be for 15 years. One new aspect is the GNOME 50.1 desktop environment, which brings many changes. Then server updates are mentioned. Upon finishing, click on Restart, then press Enter, and when it turns off, extract the device used for the installation. When entering, it presents the welcome, and we click Next. It shows location, services, and style. We select the dark mode. Review the desktop, panel, and menu. We see the apps installed by default in GNOME, along with system utilities. Open the terminal and increase the font size for better visibility. At the same time, the terminal window size increases. Search for Fastfetch, sysbench, and GLMark2 packages with apt search. This repository includes Fastfetch, previously not found. Install the 3 mentioned packages. Sysbench is a programmable, multi-threaded benchmarking tool based on LuaJIT. Run Fastfetch to see system info. We get the kernel version, which is the most recent one. It is the new version 7. We can see the idle memory, which is not low but average among distributions, and the megabytes per package are high. We use commands to contrast the info, which is correct. We confirm the Resolute Raccoon version and the kernel 7. Verify memory and disk. Also, we measure the boot time, which is above average compared to other Linux distributions. Then we confirm among Ubuntu news that NVIDIA drivers are more fluid. In fact, they are installed automatically. Run sysbench for CPU in a single thread, calculating prime numbers, allowing measurement of single-core performance. In this single-core test, average performance was obtained, with good stability in calculation and medium process times. Then, to measure multi-thread power, we run sysbench for CPU with parallel load, analyzing scaling in 5 threads. In the multi-thread test, average scaling was observed using 5 threads with a moderate increase in performance. For test the scheduler, we run sysbench for CPU and cores, evaluating latency when multiple threads compete for shared resources. In the scheduler test, control latency was observed, maintaining overall system stability under concurrent load scenarios. We start a synchronization test where we run sysbench for CPU, measuring Mutex log performance under high contention levels. The Mutex test showed moderate log handling with low contention and stable average performance in parallel workloads. Then we ran sysbench for memory in read mode, quantifying bandwidth and data access speed within the system RAM memory. In-memory reading, good bandwidth was achieved with fast data access and stable performance in continuous operations. To measure write throughput, we run sysbench for memory analyzing the transfer rate towards the system RAM under load. In memory writing, an efficient transfer rate was obtained, reflecting proper handling of data flow towards system RAM memory. Before the disk test, we ran sysbench for storage, preparing a 1 GB file environment for input and output performance tests. For the final benchmark, we run sysbench for disk input and output, validating random read and write speeds under load. In the final disk test, balanced performance was achieved in random read and write, showing adequate real workload values. Then we run the top command to check memory use by a Firefox window. Then we open a second tab, playing a video stream. Continue opening a third and fourth tab. Seeing the increase in memory use, average consumption per tab is high. We run GLMark2 for the integrated Intel GPU, analyzing shader performance and Mesa driver efficiency in 3D graphics. We evaluate Intel GPU ability to process textures and geometry, measuring FPS under load with a relatively low result. Then, we run GLMark2 for GPU using NVIDIA Offload through environment variables to activate the dedicated GPU correctly. We measure raw NVIDIA performance evaluating frame rate and rendering power under high load, with excellent results. Install the CUDA toolkit package. For the first time we introduced this test, focusing on processing instead of frames. The tool we use is Hashcat, which requires the toolkit. Although it recovers passwords, it uses CUDA and measures speed. Run Hashcat B to execute all algorithms. Although we focus on the first 4 according to comparisons, it performs well. To show GPU usage, open a tab and run NVIDIA SME L1, then run Hashcat again. We observe P0 state at 100% load. We see tests continue, watching NVIDIA SME to confirm GPU and memory usage during load. We finish the test and exit. We have finished the system evaluation. Next, we present a summary of the results obtained in the tests performed. In conclusion, Ubuntu 26.04 has very good NVIDIA GPU performance using GNOME 50.1. The desktop and apps look modern. According to our records, overall system performance is similar to version 24.04. In the next video we will show comparison. Regarding the high performance ranking, where we have tested more than 60 distros, Ubuntu 26.04 is in place 28. That is all for this video. If you liked it, subscribe, leave a like and turn on notifications. See you in the next video.